Christina's conscious, energetic thought process presents Planet Utopia, episode 12.8.22. A true democracy cosmic design. Are abstract mathematical terms the same as algorithms? Assuming the answer is no. Then metaphysical intellect as a function of omnirational universe can intellectually, deliberately contemplate designing planet Utopia without need to escape or entirely reject Earth for the many reasons since algorithms took over the world. This means to say, not excluding from consciousness evolution the generalized principles, the family of which constitutes an eternal cosmic design. Synergetic 792.01. Instead, Earth and its abundant resources provide the designers of planet Utopia a perfect prototype, since it is the relatively most familiar life-sustaining environment from 200,000 BC, when Homo sapiens, the first modern humans, appeared in Africa. The Earth is a 10,000 frequency geodesic sphere, is also a relevant home base in a contradistinction to any other distant planet, as yet to be measured in geodesic angles and frequencies. So, planet Utopia designers can refer to Earth as the perfect prototype. What is not a perfect prototype, to exemplify, as an emulative form, is the PRJWBCHM, politics, religion, justice, war, belief, complex, hierarchical matrix. Logically, those interrelating, intertransacting, interfering factors must not be factored into any futuristic design expectation for differently manifesting results. To do so would be self-defeating to project planet Utopia because, and imaginably, of course humans will inhabit planet Utopia. And so the whole, WHOLE, interconsiderate arranged components cannot contradict the eternal pattern integrity of the generalized principles. Historically, PRJWBCHM prides its domains in hierarchies of political power, excluding consciousness evolution's omnitopology, whereby the conceptual reasoning are negative and invalidate metaphysical intellect. This has been accomplished for millenniums by supplanting what describes metaphysical conceptual with meaningless terminology like spiritual, paranormal, and so forth. Conceptual equal imaginable, and metaphysical is unlimited, generalizable, independent of time-space sizing. So, the human mind's metaphysical intellect's awareness of metaphysical generalizations introduces its anticipatory design science initiatives to conceptualities of pattern integrity that are timeless and eternal. There is no doubt about it. Politics are obsolete, regardless how accustomed to its methods, strategies, tactics, and how accustomed to it humans have become, adapting to its ever self-serving manifest deceptions. The entangling webs of political deception are practiced on the Internet's World Wide Web. Networking, nets, webs, ambitiously accommodate the deceptions by calculative exclusions of consciousness evolution's synergetic design science. The resulting increasingly more constraining and restrictive loss of freedom are pervasive to a point of almost no return, to a threshold of an almost experienced trust in democracy's governing officials, because they too are the people. And accordingly, democracy is a form of government that is said to be of the people, by the people, for the people. But because the lack of a consciously, intellectually deliberate design persists, not having been initiated at the outset, the people play politics for any ignorantly self-serving agenda. The people are encouraged, influenced to do so by misbehaving, misunderstanding, mischievously, emulatively becoming maladjusted to every conceivable degree of malfeasance. It is the least economical way a system can behave relative to unity and self in universe. This is despite the P for politics, the R for religion, the J for justice, the W for war, as the belief complex hierarchical matrix operates to achieve its irrationally induced results. Supposedly legally clarifying documents like the Constitution can eventually settle the misappropriated interpretation by state or federal actors, the officials whose political agendas cleverly find loopholes for playing time games. It is as the system of courts, lowest to the highest courts of the land, that provide a deceptive hierarchical playground. It increases its volumes of legal forms, filled with time-constrained pleadings, motions, filing appeals to the highest courts, interpretations as their mental alacrity or lack of it is counted on for remedying the P factor's calculated contrivance and the J factor's multi-personality. Decades of agonizing torments are suffered upon the people, as undercurrents incite rebellious reactions that can culminate into warring factions and all-out war. The people are the historical actors, the worst of whom are enabled by political cohorts to disturb the population, which includes everyone: citizens, non-citizens, resident aliens, illegal aliens, migrants, and so forth. So, describing any form of government of the people, by the people, for the people appears to be a grave mistake, primarily because it engenders random happenstance where the person, one of the people, acts out its part as a proponent or opponent in the grand scheme of it. The scheme of a quasi or pseudo-democracy can boast of a federal constitution with state constitutions that can be amended, expanding its size, adding to it by subsequent politically contrived intent. A scheme is not a design in the synergetic definition. As we can read in Synergetic 792.01, while intricately, integratively comprehending that the word design defines what is intellectually deliberate. As a composition, The components would be interconsiderately arranged, respecting interaccommodative mathematical behaviors referential to an eternal cosmic design. Obviously, a true democracy's cosmic design would be composed by human intellect. This is mindfully that the people are integral environmental factors as systemic constituents, not as political constituents. And so designers of planet Utopia not only have Earth's 10,000 frequency geodesic sphere to refer to as the perfect prototype, but also the PRJWBC-HM as the least economical way systems can mistakenly behave relative to unity and self in universe. How much imaginable time would such an anticipatory design science planet Utopia project take to achieve? It is anybody's guess, or a relatively predictable rough draft, as human intellect proceeds to conceptualize the prospects of it. These manifest forms that humans adapt to ignore that planet Earth is a 10,000 frequency geodesic sphere. Histories of the irrational PRJWBCHM deceptions, including the Internet's widespreading use of algorithm and the anticipatory pristine planet Utopia, as well as R. Buckminster Fuller's synergetics, are within which there is absolutely no reference to be made, no mention of algorithms. Unlike a quasi-democracy that is devoid of conscious evolution's cosmic design, universe's generalized laws with a true democracy in mind guarantee the integrity of non-simultaneous scenario universe. To put it another way, designing planet Utopia, including the prospects for manifesting a true democracy, as an anticipatory design science project, conceptualizes its life-sustaining environment as a scenario universe by starting with universe and not any substitution. If we start with the people, this historically omits or purposely distorts for variously contrived reparations. The inherited detriments of the slave mentality conditioning can also omit awareness of our humanity's inherited inventory of generalized laws. Generalized laws comprise an inventory that has yet to be completed and can be explored while designing planet Utopia. Since the generalized laws are eternally operative, logically, our evolution species, humans of a mind, require an operational field complex, a cosmic hierarchy, the isotropic vector matrix, but perhaps, for many people, suggesting that the PRJWBCHM cannot be included in Planet Utopia's anticipatory design science project is almost too much for them to consider, and especially since a true democracy is also anticipated, then this is not the project for them at this point in time. This seems especially pertinent with regards to algorithms now that we are informed in Synergetic 791.01 that mathematics calculating capability into the public domain occurred 500 years ago, which was the advent of mathematically derived cosmic structuring principles. We must rethink any established premise, formulated precepts that are devoid of structural analysis, especially if engineers are involved in Project Planet Utopia. Also, we can no longer dismiss what Johannes Kepler and Isaac Newton found, which were the synergetic behaviors of whole WHOLE systems known now as synergies. The behaviors of the integral characteristics that are unpredicted by the behaviors of the system's separately considered parts. 500 years ago was way before the founding of the USA and other democracies around the world wrote their constitutions. Why did the predecessors in every nation on earth, the founding fathers, omit knowledge of the structural laws of universe that operate on both macro and micro levels? Instead, the P and the J factors of the PRJWBCHM delusions operate by selected terminologies that superficially suffice, like motion, but not the laws of motion, thus further concealing disparate observation data while altogether ignoring synergy and synergetic behaviors of whole WHOLE systems. Their emulative prototype governing system was hierarchical, not mathematically derived knowledge of cosmic structuring principles. No wonder the people are continually overwhelmed by the very factors that bind us to more of the same, such as is irrelevant to consciously coordinated cosmic structuring principles. The PRJWBCHM relative insanity accommodates histories of the reenacting articulations by increasing the tolerance magnitudes of the residual inaccuracies of observation and articulation ad infinitum. Until next time, looking forward to a healthy, happy coexistence on Earth and on planet Utopia. Reference Synergetics 326.40 Metaphysical and Physical Summary. Synergetics 160 Generalized Design Science Exploration. Synergetics 791.01 and Synergetics 792.01. Thank you.